morning to all of you, and let me wish very happy 71st Republic Day. My dear faculty, friends from across the globe, let me extend warm welcome and greetings on the occasion of this festive 71st Republic Day celebrations. Dear friends, 7 decades of we adopting our constitution, which has given after our freedom and which has given the right to prosper, come to this beautiful institution, National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj, on what we could achieve in the last 12 months. Let me congratulate all the centers, all the faculty who have contributed for the success of this organization. Let me also congratulate the support centers who are working from behind and enabling the academic, research, teaching activity happening. Let me congratulate the Center for Panchayat Raj for their wonderful work in the last 12 months. The work, if I can recall, the training support that has been extended to Jammu and Kashmir after their local body elections in December 2018, and then we worked with the state to frame the training framework and assisted them in creating the master resource persons for improving the quality of the training program, and actually hands-on helped them in conduct of training program for panches, sarpanches, numbering almost 50,000 people in a time-bound manner. I can proudly say that perhaps that might have been the first attempt wherein the NIRDPR has led and guided the state in organizing the induction program for the elected representatives across the state Jammu and Kashmir. This has been appreciated by all and acknowledged by the state government. Similar effort of People's Planning Campaign, conduct of various programs in a time-bound manner in number of areas. I'm happy to say that the ministry completely believes and depends on NIRDPR for some of these elements where we have performed. Similarly, the 100+ cluster which we have initiated about 2 years back, but could actually roll out 1 year back. Now we are working in almost about 100 clusters, about 500 panchayats, in the form of action research project, led by a very small group of people, motivated, dedicated people, to handhold these clusters to prepare a scientific, professionally made Grama Panchayat development plan. I believe, it is not only my belief, the government of India believes that the sustainable development can happen only through a scientifically made plan so as to harness the natural resources that are available in that panchayat and with the involvement of the local governments. And in that respect, we want to create almost islands of success in about 500 panchayats in the form of about 100 clusters. And happy to say that the progress is very encouraging, and of course we have to step up our effort to bring them to the fruition. Dear friends, again on Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana, we have done exceedingly well. The CHRD Center, who is anchoring it, have done very efficient and effective training programs for the Sagi Panchayat coordinators, district coordinators, looking after those areas. We are doing so much of work, but many people do not know. Across the country, we have to publicize our work. We have to take the work to the people, to the various stakeholders. Whosoever come here, with whomsoever we come in contact, almost about 60 to 70,000 participants in every year. Of course, they are our spokespersons, but that is not enough. We have to reach out our solid work which is happening. That's why we have engaged a professional agency to publicize, to take our work to the public through print and visual media. And I am very happy to say that number of your research projects, number of your efforts, number of your work could be publicized widely across the country in number of newspapers. And the excellent work that has been rendered by the audiovisual unit, which has been created about a year back, of bringing out the video outcomes quickly, very effectively, and very efficiently. Within no time, within 24 hours, it is up and available for the public. We have to publicize to improve our own outcomes, so that the stakeholders would on their own come forward to join the training programs. We need not search for the participants. In fact, they should come forward. In fact, still it is not enough. Incidentally, I was traveling with one of the Honorable Member of Parliament the other day. And then after pleasantry introduction, then he was asking, what does NIRDPR do? An MP of Government of India asking, what does NIRDPR do? That means we have not done enough of publicity of our work. And when I explained these things, then he expressed immense interest that, can you help us in our constituency? Can you help in scientifically planning the water conservation works? As you are aware, the government of Telangana has launched in creating water conservation structures in a mission mode. It's a recent announcement in the state. I said the water conservation structures are built haphazardly without any planning. We had the opportunity of visiting Maharashtra, some of the successful panchayats like Ralegaon Siddhi, Evare Bazar, where they have shown that with 450 mm rainfall, they can have cropping intensity of almost 160%. That is the participatory, people's initiated and scientific soil and water conservation works. Why can't we replicate, why can't we do that in other constituency, other areas, other panchayats, other watersheds, by which we can solve the problem of water, which is going to be a major issue. Dear friends, not only in terms of media publicity, not only in terms of AV unit, we have activated the social media and presenting our thoughts. We have to groom various stakeholders. For grooming them, we have to publicize what we do, what we are doing here, so that they can come here with a trust, not a mere routine training program. They come here and learn wholeheartedly and go back and implement our ideas, our schemes, our programs much more effectively. Dear friends, I think never can be a situation where we have the full support of the government of India. Of course, we had been seeing such support in the last 4 years after I came, and I think that continues, and they believe on this greatness of this institution. They would like to make use of our potential. Let me also congratulate the DDGKY cell, which has come up after a hard work of launching the Kaushal Bharat portal. Hitherto, it was in a private domain, and there were some constraints, resistance from different parts of the stakeholders group, and we could overcome, and the Ministry of Rural Development Skills Division had to adopt it as their official portal. And they are driving it to make it one single platform where all skilled programs, all skilled activities would be hosted. I want to congratulate the team under DDGKY who have made this possible, and it has been accepted by the ministry. Dear friends, the RTP has done wonderfully well in number of areas. We could revive Vaishali in Bihar, the Vaishali center of the Kapart. Of course, the Kapart will come to our fold in full shape soon, but even prior to that, we have revived with the number of training programs there. And I think Vaishali has got great potential to change the rural landscape, rural socio-economic development of the Bihar state. Of course, promotion of the cost-effective appropriate technologies had been the focus in the last few years, and we could make significant impact through demonstration of various structures, and it will further be reinforced with many more such initiatives. I am also happy to say that Niti Aayog has recognized the potential of NIRDPR and requested us to help in rolling out of the capacity building and training programs in Poshan Abhiyan. I want to congratulate the CRU unit and the effective completion of the learning material, and of course the rollout of the master's training program, which is again going to be unique with the participation of the corporates. We have succeeded in roping in other stakeholders like corporates, voluntary agencies, volunteers, individual volunteers from different organizations to look at contributing further rural development. That is another major breakthrough, I can say, in the last few years. We know that the faculty is the resource in this institution, and we are here to facilitate the effective functioning of the faculty. In fact, they are the torchbearers of the fame of this institution, either regular or contract or whatever the human resources that we are working with. We are here to support that. And of course, I am happy to say that we have got the clearance for creating a beautiful, eco-friendly office complex for the RTP. And we would like to complete it in a time-bound manner. And of course, we took a little bit of time in putting in further infrastructure within the campus, like CGOT building and boys PGDM hostels, which we will be completing because we have already fixed the architect, official architect. They are working on that, and I hope before March we will be laying foundation stone for these new structures and new buildings. I dream that there shall be one good friend, one well-wisher in each panchayat for us. If that well-wisher can talk about NIRDPR, then I think our work is complete. Then once they demand for our services, and I think we have achieved our objective. There are a number of other works which we have accomplished, for which I wish to congratulate all of you for the successful work which has happened, all the centers, all the supporting centers. And of course, there is a long way to go. There's much more to be done. We want to roll out the Gram Swaraj portal, an online learning management system, wherein we have to put all our training programs, all our certificate programs on this portal, so that the people, so that the stakeholders, not necessarily that they are connected with the rural development and Panchayat Raj system, maybe in IT professionals, maybe other professionals who would like to know about the Panchayat, their Panchayat, what they can get, what they can contribute. And this portal will facilitate. And we wish that our 250,000 Gram Panchayats, multiplied by minimum at least 25 people from each Gram Panchayat, that is the number at which we are looking at. And of course, that would be a paid program by which we want to generate enough revenue for NIRDPR so that it can become self-sufficient financially, and ultimately maybe in the next 5 years, we need not look at the Government of India for any budgetary support. I think that should be the key success factor which we should keep and work towards that. I am sure it can happen in the next 5 years. We have seen in the last 3-4 years the addition of the revenue, internally generated revenue, which has been added to the corpus. I think in the last 2-3 years it has gone substantially. And of course 1920 yet to be audited, and I think the highest contribution would have come in 1920, which we will come to know in the month of April. Dear friends, whatever the stakeholders with whom we are working, whosoever are working both at Government of India level and at the state government, that effort is not enough. And on the other hand, there are large number of volunteers who are available in the ecosystem who would like to come forward and extend their hand. We have to harness that voluntary force, voluntary energy. And by adding that voluntary energy, we can reinforce our efforts and we can accelerate the whole process of rural transformation. We have made a beginning with the Project Management Institute, and we are in touch with IIM alumni, IIT alumni, IARI alumni, and we are triggering responses from these alumni of different highly qualified professional bodies. Through their help, we want to create at least 1 or 2 professional volunteers for each panchayat, for helping them, for mentoring them, for hand-holding them. In fact, I want to share one response based on our request, which we have circulated, that we want to help the voluntary effort. A couple who came the other day, who was IIM Calcutta alumni, who is 83 years old. He wants to contribute. He came and asked me the question, where can I contribute, tell me. I am good in this sector. So there is interest, there is volunteerism, who would like to help us, who would like to join hands in the effort of rural transformation. And I think we have to create a platform, facilitate their harnessing of their energy so that our efforts would get accelerated for the objective. Dear friends, another major area which we want to harness is the youth power. in addition to the existing ongoing programs in terms of skilling for the youth, we want to rope them in to join in the development at panchayat level. Our objective is to create a system, enable a system wherein about 20 youth in each panchayat will be readily available at any time for any voluntary work. Other day I was with the Ministry of Youth Affairs, the DC of Nehru Yuva Kendra has promised all support and all required help to make this possible. I wish that in the next training calendar, we should touch at least 100,000 of youth who can get motivated, who can get trained in their respective decentralized locations, maybe SIRDs, ETCs and so on and so forth, who can be available to help the panchayat, who can be available to make the Grama Sabhas more effective, who can be available to tell to the people what all the schemes, what all the benefits the people are eligible for, what all the benefits they can take from the government system. And of course, question the bodies, the local governments if something is going wrong. It is not only supporting, it is also question of bringing accountability on these local governments through this band of youth power. And I think NIRD should play a major role and move forward. Another area which I think we should be focusing, unfortunately for various reasons, we could not make special effort in the development of the tribal communities. The PESA Act had been promulgated long time back, but very little has happened across the states. I was recently in one of the discussion with the National Human Rights Commission, NHRC, where they were discussing as to how the forest rights can be brought in for the benefit of these tribal communities. There is a huge scope for facilitating in that area for this great institution. In fact, we have agreed to host a conclave of governors of PESA states, maybe in the month of March or April, so as to impress on them that what role they can play. In fact, governors have to play a major role, which we have seen in Maharashtra, when the then governor, Mr. Vidyasagar, was there and he made the difference. And similarly, we want to take the learnings in Maharashtra to other states. And we are also exploring the possibility of creating young fellows like PMRDF, young fellows for selected cluster of PESA panchayats. Maybe to begin with, about 100 young fellows funded by CSR, trained by NIRDPR, and monitored by NIRDPR, and of course, the involvement of the state governments. State governments have very little time for this, the most backward communities of tribal communities. Maybe they do not form major electoral group. That's why they are not seen. They are not there on the radar of the elected representatives and policy makers. We have to work from bottom. We want to create NIRDPR fellows similar to PMRDF so that they can work. And there is scope for exploring the use of CSR funds. Dear friends, of course we are here to facilitate and we have to improve the service of the service centers, either admin, accounts or IT. We have to live up to the requirements of the academic centers. That is our purpose, that's what our job, that's why we are here. And I can promise you that we will do that much more effectively and will extend, facilitate for your smooth work. With these words, I would like to once again extend my greetings on this occasion of 71st Republic Day, congratulate all of you and request all of you to reinforce your effort to increase your wholehearted involvement in your work. In fact, I cannot stop telling that the work that should happen with passion. Without passionate work, we cannot achieve whatever we are aiming at. And we should learn from our mistakes, no doubt. But the mistakes should not criminalize the institution. We should learn and improve so that those mistakes would not happen. And we are moving towards that. With these words, I extend my warm greetings to all of you, the colleagues from across the globe, and to all of you. And I wish you all the best for the growth of this great institution and keep the flag high. Thank you very much.